Every person is born to do something great. Every day they have a choice, to take a step closer to their destination or to run away. I was the fourth child in the family. My family was close to the king, and this afforded me the great privilege. As the youngest in the family, my three older brothers have always supported and looked after me. I followed the successful military careers of my brothers with great interest. After finishing school, I decided to follow in their footsteps and joined the army. My father purchased a commission for me as a dragoon officer in time for the War of Austrian Succession, where I served mainly in Flanders. Later, my military service brought me to North America. There, the army was tasked with capturing all of French Canada. I was given command of a battalion of light infantry during the siege of Quebec. Within a year, I had gained command of the regiment and performed well in the Battle of Saint-Foy. Unfortunately, the war took away my closest brother and best friend.
Microphone, let's try that. I don't know if that's any better. Fucking hell. I hate technology, I really do. Oh, it works. Oh, splendid. Thank you, Edu, for all the heads up. Fucking hell. Right, sweet. Alright, we're in. Let's do it. Just let me double check one last thing. I might fuck the audio up again here, though. Let's just quickly try. I'm using different tracks because I'm also recording at the same time. So it's important that I don't have... I need to be able to separate my voice from the game sound effects is basically what I'm getting at. So let's just... Alright, fuck it, I'm going to have to leave it as it is. Yes, basically, I was trying to set up my sound and stuff so that it's on different, what do you call it, different lines, you know what I mean? So I can separate my voice from the game sound effects. That way I can delete my commentary to you guys and use the footage I'm recording now to make a alternate history documentary video type thing, but I may have to just do that separate. Anyway, let's just get on with it, shall we? So, make your choice. Alright, have received an order to retreat. So this is where I have to give myself some bad attributes, and I'm going to go with perception. Having received the order to retreat, I counterattacked and changed the course of the battle. Sounds like a good idea, but obviously, if it's going against your orders, it's not a good idea. So, that's, well, not potentially a good idea anyway.
And a year later, I commanded a brigade in the Montreal campaign.
Right, so I'm gonna go with negative 20 tensions with natives. Because these other ones are shite, so I want to have at least try and get the natives on my side a little bit. And we're nearly at the end of this character creation thing now. It goes on a little bit.
I was promoted to the rank of general. After the war, I returned to England, where I was involved in the
you guys just didn't hear me, but I was saying at the start to myself, obviously, because my sound wasn't working. This is sort of like a bit of a test stream because I've not streamed in so long, obviously. So I'm still working out some kinks and things. It's been a long time since I last had a bash at doing this. So, make a choice. Right, so I was engaged in improving the equipment of soldiers. That will give me plus 15 ammunition. I experienced military operations in North America. I suggested improvement to food carts, so better forage. I'm going to go with ammunition because I have more than once run a bit short in this game.
On questions related to the American colonies, I have always...
And I'm going to be, as a member of Parliament, I'm arguing for fairer treatment of the American colonies. Because in real, genuinely, when I look at the history of the American Revolution, I do kind of see, I do have a bit of sympathy for the colonists at the time, you know, what they were arguing for, what they wanted. I think the whole thing could have been avoided if people had just been like, you know what, let's try and meet in the middle somewhere. So, yeah. That's what I'm going to go with here. Plus, it helps me in the game a bit because it stops everyone basically rebelling at once.
While I advocated for moderate treatment of the colonies, unfortunately...
Yeah, I agree. It would be nice just to have like a plus minus thing to... Because here's all my attributes like here in the top right. So it'd be nice just to be able to go, right, click, click, click. I want more intelligence, less perception. Like in most character creation games, you've got a number of things to use. I'd rather have that. But this is fine. It kind of sets a bit of a story as well at the start, so I'm not going to complain. I'm going to go with this chap, I think. The difficulty is on normal, which is actually surprisingly difficult at times. It can be a little bit hard. So let's get in. So I don't know if any of you guys have played this game. The early part of the game is a little bit odd, in my opinion. It's before the revolution has begun. So I'm still in control of all the colonies, all of the American colonies. Here's my character here aboard ship, just arrived in North America. I'm gonna have him land at Boston, which is kind of where things arguably sort of started to kick off a little bit, I guess, with the whole Boston massacre and all that kind of bollocks. So you can see all the settlements. Some of them are forts. So you got Fort Lovell here, Portsmouth, Fort Stevens. Some are garrisoned, most aren't. Obviously, I've got detachments of Royal Navy ships around as well. So there's no big map I can bring up, but there is this little map here that you can see, which shows obviously the whole eastern seaboard of the modern day United States. So we start off in command of everything. Some, as you can see, like here, like Fort George, for example, it's 30% in favour of the rebels or the patriots or whatever you would call them, because there are some talk of the whole patriot cause going on. It just hasn't actually properly boiled over into all outright revolution yet. So I've got a couple of ships here already, which, because it's the Royal Navy, already have upgrades to go for, or crew upgrades and things like that, because the Royal Navy, obviously being as experienced as it was, it would have that, I guess. So let's start pushing forward the clock to have my bloke arrive with some extra troops, and I'll start to get a load of tasks to do on the right hand side of the screen, buildings to make and things to try and do to, improve my lot. Some of them actually are a little bit counterintuitive because they lead to the rebellion. Yes, those forts are around. Ticonderoga is over here. William Henry. I don't know. I'm trying to rack my brain to remember exactly where that fort is. Because obviously here's Quebec and Montreal here. Where would Fort William... it seems to ring a bell. I wonder if I can... how accurate to history? I believe it's relatively accurate, or as accurate as a game is able to be. Oh, here's Fort Niagara. Yeah, I believe it doesn't mention things like the Boston Massacre and that kind of stuff, but you do get to fight the Battle of... Oh, bollocks, what was it called? The battle that kicked it off, I forgot what it's called now. It's really gone from my mind. So this is just a little notification about the resignation of Thomas Hutchinson. I assume this is real. This actually happened. I don't know the history that deep. But Royal Governor of Massachusetts is basically been it. And obviously it's going to cause all of the cities, all the main cities in Massachusetts, so Middlesbrough, Leicester, Boston itself, of course, and Hatfield, to lose a lot of their loyalty for me, which is why I've landed my main character up here in Boston. So let's have him disembark from the ships with the troops he's brought. He's brought 2 regiments with him. So now, if I click on Boston, you can see there's my guy, there's his 4 regiments available in Boston to start doing things. I'm going to immediately start having them move out and occupy some of the neighbouring towns, just because obviously if you have them occupied or garrisoned or whatever, it allows it stops the loyalty level dropping like faster. Basically, it keeps people on side. Obviously they've got a whole battalion of British redcoats in their town. They're not going to start causing too much trouble, right in their face. So yeah. Right, so let's keep pressing on with... So at the moment, I said I'm kind of waiting for a number of things to happen on its own. There's certain things I can't quite do at the moment. I'll start to get orders come and like this sort of thing. Now I've been appointed as the governor of the colonies, the governor general of all the colonies. I've been given 50,000 gold, I guess. It has caused problems with the colonists, the Americans. But now I have a bit of government control. I can start to do things. This is basically your research tree. Eventually I'll have all of these departments set up. Each one of them will be researching new things. The first one I'm going to research will be the supply logistics. I'm not going to do it just yet because I'm going to wait for the game to prompt me to, simply because if I start it too early, it has a negative effect basically. I won't bother going into exactly what the negative effect is. It's not that important. It's more like a bug than anything, if I'm honest, because the game is still, still relatively fresh, so it's got a few kinks to iron out still. The 33rd, I believe you get them in a research later on. You research something and I can't remember what it is, but I'll get there eventually, and it basically gives me the 33rd. So here it is telling me now to research the supply and logistics, which I'm going to do. And I'm just going to give all my ships here their little perks quickly. They're not going to be sailing anywhere just yet because there's nothing to sail against. So now I'm getting other prompts to do now, other tasks to do. Reinforce my troops, create a new regiment back in Britain, which I will also get onto very, very soon. One more little group of ships here, 2 more ships, a couple of sloops. Oh, okay. So my general, my main character arrived. However, I didn't actually read what it said when he arrived. The fleet he was with got separated in a storm, and some of the ships went missing, basically, carrying half of his forces. Those ships have now arrived, so the forces are here. I'm going to have them land, rather than landing in Boston, I'm going to have them land in New York. If I can actually use my brain and find New York. Where am I going? New York's up here, isn't it? Right, so have them land in New York. And I'm going to now get on with carrying out some of these other things. So I need to send a regiment and a warship to the Colonies, and I need to create a new regiment in Britain. So I'll click on this tab here. Here's Britain. And in Bristol, we already have 2 regiments of foot, 1 of cavalry. I'm just going to give that cavalry an extra squadron, if I remember how. Yes, this is how, because I like them to be kind of maxed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send these troops, start them on the way. It's going to take them 33 in-game days, I think it is, to get there. And I'm going to create a new infantry regiment as well, because that's what the prompt told me to do. So you have to pick a commander, and now you put the companies in. It's obviously not quite accurate in this regard, because back in them days, a British infantry regiment would have 10 companies. This only allows 6. But I'm going to give 1 of light infantry. I'm also going to put a battery of guns in there as well, which also isn't really accurate, because as far as I'm aware, British infantry regiments didn't have integrated artillery in with the regiment. It wasn't really a thing. But whatever. It's just to make things simpler in the game, obviously. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send Francis Smith, together with 2 of these regiments of foot here, off to the United States, or obviously to the soon-to-be United States, I should say, to the colonies still. Okay, now I'm getting ahead of myself. Actually, I might wait on that. I'm going to wait for the cavalry regiment to build up. No, the 122nd, the reason why it said that is because one of the regiments, if I can find it, here it is, being transported in the fleet is the 122nd, as you can see here. That's why it said that there, so, yeah. What else we've got to do? Start a mission in a specific region. Okay, so I'm going to quickly do that as well, because I also want to get rid of all of this crap on the side here. It kind of triggers me a bit, if I'm honest. So I'm going to have an officer recruit more people in the Boston area to complete that. That'll be finished soon as well. And then I'm going to send recruits to the colonies as well. So there's a weird reinforcement type thing. The British regular regiments in the game can only be reinforced by recruits from the UK, from Britain. When I eventually create loyalist militias, they get reinforced by their local region, where they're from. But for the British, I have to send recruits from home. It gets very, very dodgy because there's not a lot of recruits to be had from home. if I'm honest. I'm also going to start setting factories to start producing things as well, because that's obviously extremely important. Get ahead of the game. So let's start with ships first. I know for a fact, obviously, having played the game already, I know I'm going to need merchant ships a lot. So merchant ships and those sort of things are going to become extremely hard pressed by the American privateers and that sort of thing. So I'm going to have all of my shipyards start producing merchant ships, obviously. I don't need to worry about warships just yet because I've got plenty of those already. And I'm also going to have my factories now producing some short brown bests. These are for the cavalry. And regular brown breast muskets. And I'm also going to need to produce some... I am going to produce some artillery for the navy. Some naval guns, some 9-pounders. And of course some 4-pounder galloper guns, which is really the best I can get for my land forces at the moment until I research the 6-pounders. Even though I actually have 6-pounders in storage, which is quite funny. And of course I need to also have my supplies. So I need to get ammunition getting crafted as well. And I'm going to have that maxed out because supplies do become a real issue. So yeah. How are those cavalry regiment coming? Is it fully manned yet? Very nearly. Right. So things are in swing now. We're doing bits. So I've got a small, fairly big squadron of ships outside Boston now, or in Boston Harbour, I should say. Oh shit! I meant to read that. You get these little notifications telling you things happening. Rebels have sabotaged this place, or there's been a protest in this town, or whatever. So that's what this sort of stuff is. So the Suffolk resolves. In response to the intolerable acts, the patriots laid a solid foundation for resistance against British oppression. Can't even bloody read here. These resolutions called for a boycott of British goods, the formation of militias, and the establishment of provincial congresses. Bloody hell. Effectively setting the stage for organised opposition. As you can see, here's all the places where my loyalty has dropped by 6%. Quite a few places there. Not good. Okay, I've got supply and logistics established, which means I'll have a new department set up now. Okay, so this is telling me I've succeeded with some missions. Obviously, I get like financial rewards and things for doing these prompts here. That's why it's good to do them when asked to, rather than beforehand. So let's get through these. Recruit sent. Yeah, thank you. Start a regional upgrade. Now, this is annoying that the game tells you to do this here, because you can't do it yet. I have to actually have Royal Colony department established, and there's no way I can establish that yet. So it tells you to do something you can't do, which is a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. You just got to wait. Now, here's the officers that I can use, or the gentlemen I can use to be like the head of these departments. The yellow bars and all these numbers, the yellow ones are the attributes you need for this position. So the higher the numbers, the better they are. So this guy here, 64 and 58. He's got 64 perception and 58 endurance. So yeah, that's quite a good one to have. And I'm going to have him research supply logistics, which allows me to build blacksmith shops. You do have a whole bunch of buildings you can build, but like I said, at the moment, without having the Royal Colony department, I can't build anything yet, even though the game is telling me to. Right, so let's go to England and let's send over some troops. So General Smith, you can go in an armed troop ship. These cavalry chaps can go in an armed troop ship, and these 2 battalions here that are already finished can go in unarmed troop ships, and they're going to be escorted by HMS Lookout, 30-gun frigate. This will complete 2 of those tasks I had. One was to send a ship to the colonies, one was to send a regiment to the colonies. Troops have sailed to America. Happy days. So they'll arrive, I think it tells you actually, 30 days, there you go. Take them 30 days to come, which is probably about right. I don't actually know, if I'm honest. back in them days. I guess it depends on the wind, doesn't it? On the weather and the wind, all that kind of stuff. So here's those troops just about to land at New York. Bear with me one moment. I'm just going to have to set my Steam thing to offline, just because I'm going to have people popping up in the corner there. There we go. Right. So the troops have landed in New York. Let's have them disembark from the ship. The 121st and the... I think it was 121st. No, the 21st and the 122nd Regiment of Foot. Again, I don't know if that's accurate, if those regiments were there. They may well have been. So I'm trying to whiz through this early bit of the game here to get to the actual combat start, the combat point where the fighting begins and all that kind of stuff. It just takes a little bit of time just to get through stuff. So obviously at the top here you can see resources and stuff I have. Here's my finances. That will start to go down pretty rapidly eventually. I need to keep an eye on that. So I can pick one of these three things here. Help from the king. My character is meant to be a friend of the king, like a personal friend. That's why I've been appointed, because the king's appointed one of his mates. We need soldiers to demonstrate strength to colonies, so I can get 700 soldiers sent. Basically, it will just make a... Well, they won't be sent. A new regiment will instantly form, ready to use in Bristol, ready to be sent to the colonies. I can have a new ship sent, HMS Norseman, or I can get some reputation points, which I'll explain what they are in a sec. So I like to go for this one. My reputation points are what you can see up here. So I've got 102 at the moment. It allows me to, like this for example, I can spend 4 points to increase the speed of that research, basically. So yeah, you can use it for other things as well, of course. But that's the main thing it's used for. Right, so I've finished that research, Council of War, and I've produced ammunition in Britain, which is lovely. Colonial Secretary. So now we've got Council of War department now, and I'm going to choose this guy, Diederik Launder. He looks fairly happy. Have him research. He's basically researching quicker research. That's what he's researching there. I'm going to leave the training level as it is. When I normally put it up, the more training you do, obviously the men will train quicker, but it uses up more ammunition, and I don't have the ammunition to spare at the moment. So I'm going to leave that as it is. It doesn't really matter, because in the early stages of the game, especially when you get into actual battles, the British regulars do tend to be very OP against the patriots, because obviously they're mostly militiamen, so they do get knocked about quite badly quite early on. I do also need to... Oh, I just remember what I need to do. There is something I like to do. This is just purely my own preference. I like to go around and disband the garrisons I already have, because, if I can find one, there's one down here somewhere. Yeah, St. Augustine. It's a battalion, or a regiment, 81st Regiment of Foot, which I believe may have been an Irish regiment, or a Northern Irish regiment. It's only one company, and one company is not much use to me. I need a full regiment. So what I like to do is I like to disband them, all these one company garrisons, and it gives me a surplus of men and weapons to use to create new regiments where I want them. So I'm going to do that. So as you can see, I will receive 120 Brown Bess rifles, 6 officers and 100 recruits, which is lovely. Of course, immediately, St. Augustine here, you see this little red lightning strike. It's telling me that rebellion there is very, very likely, because only 29% population there support Britain. The other 70%, funny enough, support Spain. So they're not actually at risk of rebelling on side with the Americans, the colonists, the patriots, whatever. They're more likely to rebel and try and join Spain, because obviously Florida was once Spanish, and as we were prone to do, we nicked it from them back in the day. So yeah. Where are the others? There's a couple more. I think they're further up north. I think they might have been Canada, actually. Let's have a look. I think they're in the forts up here. Yeah, like Fort Frontenac, I think is how you pronounce that. So 67% loyalty. It is dropping slightly. But again, that's largely because it's recently been taken from the French. That's why their loyalty isn't outright for me. But never mind that. I'm going to disband this little force there because they're not much good there. And I think there's one more. No, Fort St. John's has got a full battalion. And I think Ticonderoga has a full battalion, or almost a full battalion. You know what, there's a quick way of doing this. If I just click on this, it will tell me. 120. I might actually use this one though. Let's have a look. Fort Pownal. No, I'm going to use that one as well. So yeah, I might form those troops I've disbanded. I'm going to actually form onto this 84th Regiment of Foot here. So as you see, I've got 355 brown besses available immediately to me now here, thanks to the disbandments I've just done. So I can form a couple more companies. They will gradually build up over time. What I do need to sort out is all of this sort of stuff here. This is like my trade and things. So a lot of things I can send back to the UK, like resources. A lot of the resources I'm getting here, all of these little ships with the little green thing, shows that I'm selling excess that I'm not using in the colonies back to Britain. Iron, saltpeter, coal is, it's all stuff that's used to make ammunition and all that kind of stuff. And I can do the same with the stuff in Britain. I can send it here as well, which is quite handy. In fact, I'm going to do that now. So I need to send brown bess muskets. Automatically send excess to America. Yes, you can have them merge into brigades and into like armies and things like that, which is quite handy. I'll show you that in a moment. Right, what I need to do, I want to actually send. I'm going to only keep 1,000 in Britain. I'm going to have the remainder get sent to the colonies, and the same for the short brown bess. I'm going to keep 400 in the UK and have the rest go to the colonies. I'm going to send all of these to the colonies. Cannons, I won't worry about cannons for now. Goods. This is the stuff that they like in the colonies. So resources come to the UK, get made into goods, you send it back to the colonies and sell it on the market there, you get a lot more money for it. Like tea, for example. Although tea obviously would have come from the plantations, but it would have made into what you'd put into tea to make the drink, I guess, in Britain or something. I don't know how it works. I'm not going to mess around with that in the moment though. I'm going to leave that for now, because that's kind of how I want it. Resources though, let's have a look. So I'm going to need more than 10 coal being sent to Britain, more than 10 saltpeter being sent to Britain, more than 10 of that, and I think wood. So yeah, when you want to like move troops around, for example, so I have these chaps come out from Boston here. So at the moment they're all separate. They're marching together. They will operate together in a battle. But if I want them to actually operate, like you can actually combine them properly into join, like it says there, join a brigade, and they will merge into one bigger force like that. So, and you could do that. I think you can have up to 4 units per brigade. Right. So as you may have just seen, then I now have a Royal Colony, so I can actually start now building things and accessing the mines as well, which is quite handy. Right, so now I can start building things, which is what I was waiting for. Now we can really get going. So my strategy, and some of you may not like it, but it is what it is. I'm going to start losing towns and forts at a astonishing rapid rate soon enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to build up a couple of towns they're going to be my main bases of operation, and I'm going to operate from those places. Boston is going to be one of those, but Boston is also very troublesome because I'm going to need to keep a permanent garrison there, purely because of how bad the loyalty is to me. It's 2/3 in favour of the USA. I can build buildings to do that, like this Capitol building here, for example. This is about trade and things. So it's a shame that I've just been given basically, or just traded for some new supplies and things. So let me pause it for a sec, stop things popping up while I'm trying to do this. So I'm going to build a Capitol building there. So it's like a state capital, not the capital. And I'm also going to build a church, because that helps with loyalty as well. So yeah, I'm looking at mainly loyalty buildings, as well as things like merchant stalls. It gives me more income, because my income will start to plummet as well. Obviously, every time I lose a town, I lose the income from that town. So that's something to bear in mind. Providence here at Rhode Island normally stays quite loyal. As you can see, it's 98% in favour of me, which is lovely. Which is rather strange, really, when you consider how close it is to the trouble area. How about Hartford? Hartford is 100% as well. So Connecticut is also, at the moment, in favour of me, or in favour of Britain. Both of these will start to drop eventually, because some events will happen that will cause them to drop. Like inevitable events, basically. But nevertheless, I'm going to also start building things here. I need to keep an eye on my resources, what I have available to actually use for building. Hartford. Let's go with the church. New York. It's 86% in favour of me. So New York is going to be one of my main areas of operation as well, where I'm going to build up forces. So I'll probably have one general here, and I'll probably have one in the south, in South Carolina or something like that, and maybe a fourth in Virginia. So I've got a bit of a spread across the eastern seaboard, and they can, between them, hopefully get to grips with any rebels that pop up whenever they do. Right. Merchant stalls for New York, I think. I'll start building up Charleston, I think, as well. Charleston's normally my southern base. Go over church for now. I also need to do this as well. So each region, it does get a bit complicated. It does get a bit difficult to understand sometimes. You've got the town buildings, and you've got the regional buildings. So when you click on like the province, you've got these things here. So it's more like infrastructure. So the area around Charleston has got agricultural infrastructure and some military infrastructure. So I'm gonna and here, you can see the resources that are available from that region. So tobacco and wheat, which is why agriculture is important to this area. So I can add more agriculture infrastructure there. It means it will produce more of this stuff quicker, basically. So I'm going to do that there. And here, Williamsburg. Now, I didn't know that Williamsburg was the capital of Virginia. I had no idea. I assumed Richmond was. But unless, of course, it is now, and back in the day, Williamsburg was. I don't know. But at the moment, this little star here means that this is the colonial capital of this region, basically. But anyway, I'm going to build some production infrastructure here. No, I'm not. That's a rubbish idea. This is still agriculture as well, isn't it? I know where I need to go. Baltimore is also... Oh, Baltimore, yes. Saltpeter in Baltimore. So I'm going to put some mines in here, so they can mine for this saltpeter. And also Philadelphia I'm not going to worry about, because I'll probably lose Philly. As you can see, it's already almost half and half in loyalty stakes. New York, I'm going to build also mines. Who would have thought there was mines in the New York region? And in some safer areas where I'm likely not to have rebellions, up here in the Canadian areas, mines and things are going to be important here, because I've got wood, saltpeter. I need somewhere where there's coal as well. I want to build up an area where there's coal, because coal, saltpeter and iron are the things I'm really going to need. There we go, Burlington, which is also part of New York apparently. I didn't know that. Right, okay, so that'll do for now. I will do more of that, but obviously I want to let my resources rebuild up. Right, so let's actually start getting a wriggle on now and get into some battles, because it's going to get a bit boring for you jolly good chaps watching otherwise. Oh, thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that. Oh, how's it going? You right? I had a feeling someone might know. Okay, so I'm getting rewarded for doing the upgrades and things. It's now telling me to sell 5 furs in Britain. Obviously, these things are kind of like a tutorial as well. They're kind of telling you how to make money and how to do things. That's why they're there. They do get a little bit naughty after the 30th time of doing it, but you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things in a game you got to kind of live with. Right, so let's sell 5 furs like it says. So I get 3,202 pounds. I'm going to go with for that, as well as whatever the reward is for selling furs. It will pop up in a minute saying, "Well done, you sold the furs." I can also start producing things here in the colonies as well. I'm going to keep it simple because I've only got 10 factories available at the moment. I'm going to build some, produce some brown besses and some ammunition, and that's it for my factories there. Shipyards I have as well, so again I'm going to go with merchants predominantly. I don't need to worry about warships really. Oh, okay. So a rebellion within a rebellion, basically. That's kind of cool. Alright, so I got another 2,500 just for selling those furs, which I already got 3,000 for. So that's lovely. Alright, let's press on. Now, for some reason, I get these notifications up here. You can spend reputation. Yeah, okay. Fine. I don't need to worry about that. These two are the ones I'm referring to. Not all factories or shipyards used in Britain, and not enough resources in Britain to do the job that the factories are being ordered to do, basically. It's a real pain in the ass. There's not a lot I can do about it. Let's go with this dude. Colonial Secretary. So it's his job basically to try and get more stuff from Parliament in the UK, more resources and things. But yeah, like I was saying, these tabs here are telling me I don't have the resources in Britain to produce things. And it's probably right. I don't think I do have the resources to produce what I need. Yeah, as you hear, red means you don't have it. And I've never really been able to fix that. I do send stuff from the colonies back to Britain. Our informants report the establishment of caches and warehouses filled with weapons and ammunition across the colonies. Yep, the enemy are preparing. They're getting ready for the big scrap that's about to kick off. Right, how long until these dudes arrive? 13 more days. And how long until these two... Right, so I'm going to send these 2 regiments off now. They'll arrive in 30 days as well. Let's name this one. I don't like them being called Infantry Regiment. Let's call it the 1st Regiment of Foot. There we go. Why not? I don't even know what the 1st Regiment was, if I'm honest. Probably one of the Guards or something. In fact, I think it was the Guards, yeah. You know what, let's not go over that then, because the Guards are shit. 30th Regiment of Foot. Whatever. Fuck. It doesn't fit on there. Never mind. Right, this is going to trigger me. There, done. And send them both on unarmed troop ships. And I might send a sloop to escort them. So if they get intercepted, there'll be a naval battle, 2 unarmed troop ships and 1 sloop, basically, against whatever intercepts them. Glad you're here, Dylan, with all the historical facts, because my knowledge it's reasonable for a limey, if you like, but yeah, obviously it's not up to snuff. Have I got any more muskets left? I do. Let's get a light company. And let's also have a look at. I doubt they'll get intercepted. The rebel navy, the privateers or whatever, and that's literally what it is. It's like a privateer Coast Guard type navy. It's like cutters and things, and a couple of sloops. They don't normally spring up just yet. Massive loyalty drop almost all over the colonies. Yeah. News of the new troops arriving have significantly heightened tensions. The locals don't like British soldiers coming and basically effectively threatening them, if you like, because it is a bit of a show of force, I guess, with battalions of British troops arriving, things like that. It would probably piss off most people. So I'm just gradually building up some of my under strength or not fully formed battalions that have only got like 3 or 4 companies to them. So as you can see, New York, I believe, was 86% when I looked at it before. It's dropped quite significantly because of that event that just happened. Boston is on 35%, so 2/3 in favour of the rebels. Oh, the Hessians. I imagine, I don't know which one it will be, but one of these bollocks. One of these will probably have a research for Hessians and things like that, I imagine. If I scroll down, you'll see Royal Fusiliers, Jaeger Corps, there you go. Hessians, there you go. Prussian musket, Hessian cavalry, Hessian infantry. So this international auxiliaries research, when I eventually unlock it, will allow me to recruit those regiments, basically, which is quite cool. I like that. That's a nice touch. Let's have improved militia stats, because I'm going to start recruiting militia battalions soon. See, Dylan, with that's something our guys learned from the war, with the revolution. We learned from that, because when it comes to Spain and Portugal and those sorts of places, any resources, any supplies, obviously there was looting and shit that did happen, but it wasn't policy. So when our troops were in Spain and Portugal, in the Napoleonic Wars, if they were being billeted in a town, they would pay for their, whatever, they'd pay to stay. Right, so now I'm kind of just waiting for the clock to tick down now, really. I'm tempted to get rid of this. Meetings of provincial congresses. Provincial congresses organised by troublemakers are convening throughout the colonies. I have ordered the arrest of members involved in these gatherings, as they incite unrest among the population and escalate tensions. Again, massive loyalty drop almost all over the colonies. I'm going to get rid of this regiment after all, because I'm not going to be able to build it up in time. At least I can use the resources from that to finish building up. Maybe not those two, because they're already in quite good shape. These chaps. So, new recruits are arriving. Right, good. That's handy. I was about to comment then. There's a little red symbol on that. Basically means not enough recruits from Britain are arriving to man this battalion here. Good day to you, Christian. How do you do? Right. Like I said, unfortunately, the early part of the British campaign on this game, it does get a bit like this, where you're kind of waiting now for things to happen. I'm kind of waiting for the rebellion to kick off proper, for the Battle of... Fuck, I keep forgetting what it is. Lexington and Concord, which is a battle I don't have to fight. It's one I can fight if I want. I probably will, because you guys obviously want to see a battle. International Relations Report. Here we go. You receive a report on changes in... so, the USA, which obviously isn't a thing yet, and the Cherokee don't like each other very much. tensions between the Miami's, sorry, which I assume is a Florida-based native nation, and France is getting better, but tensions between the Spanish and the Cherokee is increasing. Yeah, sorry, Dylan. Yeah, that is what I. Yeah, it is. It is the one thing on this as well, if I remember rightly. Right, so my new troops have arrived. I'm going to have them. Oh fuck! Hang on a minute. Too much is happening at once now. Typical. Okay, I've got. Oh shit! I've got to get 10,000 pounds in taxes for the crown. Yeah, that's going to freaking cheap it up, isn't it? Which big brain thought that'd be a good idea. I'm going to have these chaps take up a position in the Baltimore area. No, that's not a good idea either. Maybe they should come up here to New York as well. 2 battalions in New York. I've got 1 here, 2 there. Bollocks. I need to try and decide where to put these dudes. Oh shit, I've lost them now. Where are they? Yeah, I'm just going to bring them up here. Bring them up here towards New York. I need to click on them first. I mean, I could keep them at sea if I wanted. That's not New York, is it? New York's over here. I could literally keep them at sea and deploy them where I need them, but I'd rather not do that. So I'm going to ask for a 1% increase in taxes, and I'm going to start building tax offices. Which obviously will decrease loyalty, but give me more taxes. Gives me more money. Ah, okay. Sorry, I'll just see the Miami's are in Ohio. Okay, that's so Ohio is over here. If my brain is working today. No, hang on. Fuck. New York, yeah, it's over this way, is it not? It's not important. Oh, hey, yeah, it even says here, look, Miami's wood. Oh, cool, I had no idea. Provocateurs are active throughout all the colonies, encouraging resistance against the crown and promoting the refusal to fulfill obligations owed to it. Damn rebels. Do as your king bids, you bastards. Some even advocate for the colonies' separation from the mother country. Let me guess. Massive loyalty drop across all the colonies. Fucking guts. Let's have a look now. What's the damage? How's New York looking with its... Okay, it hasn't dropped a lot. Not yet, anyway. Give it time, it will. Right. How long until the... 12 days until Duncan's fleet arrives. I'll probably have them take up a position in the Virginia area. So like I said, I'm going to try and have a concentration here around Boston mostly, a concentration around New York, probably around here in Virginia, and down in South Carolina, which is here, or maybe North Carolina, this sort of area. Just try and have a couple of battalions here, a couple of battalions there, and so on and so forth. I'll also build loyalist militias as well when I can. In fact, I'm researching them now, I believe. I think this is new regiment, militia regiment, yeah. So I'll speed up the research on that. Here you go. I can now create loyalist militias. The problem is I don't have the weaponry yet. If I go to this... Oh no, I'm talking shit. I've got nearly 700 muskets in stock now. That's very nice. Okay, in that case, I'm going to build... I'm going to recruit. Bloody hell. I'm not going to be able to recruit any of these. When the the loyalty falls below 50%, you can't recruit forces there. Very nice. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but it's going to allow me to build a militia regiment there. So let's do that. Now the militia only allow 4 companies rather than 6. But I believe there's more troops in each company. A slight more. Wait, do I have any guns here? I don't have any guns here yet. No guns in storage for me to... let's go with that for now. Right, where else would I like to have militia formed? How are we doing with these Canadian places? Because I have had Quebec rebel once, which I thought was quite funny. I might have... Oh, fuck. Situation is deteriorating. In numerous cities, the rebels are gathering forces and conversations about defying the crown are proliferating. The entire scenario is troubling. We must accelerate the deployment of our units from England to secure the main ports and guarantee a steady supply for the army. That is kind of what I'm doing. Have them land there. Fort Montgomery. Let's have a militia regiment formed there. And I've probably got enough weaponry for 1 more. As you can see, look, not enough ammunition, not enough provisions. You have to wait for supplies things to come as well. Fort Stevens. Probably not, if I'm honest. Not yet anyway. It'll probably fall when I'll probably end up counter-attacking to retake it. Williamsburg. Or Richmond. Let's go with Richmond, I think. Let's build a militia. No, that's a rubbish idea. Let's go to the Carolinas and start. So I'm just looking. I'm just clicking on now to look at the loyalty level. Unionville is on 51%, so it's right, it's teetering on the edge. North Carolina isn't looking too bad. Elizabethtown isn't brilliant. Let's build a regiment in Fort Granby. Oh, I forgot to say why I've named my general Le Patriots. Le Patriots was actually part of my family, the name Le Patriots. My grandmother's cousin was Le Patriots. And he was a soldier he was from Guernsey, where my family's from. He was a soldier in the British Army in World War II. He actually joined before the war began in 1938. He joined the Hampshire Regiment, which is the English regiment, not the Guernsey Regiment, because that had been disbanded by then. And he was a major for most of the war. He ended up becoming a brigadier after the war, but he won the Victoria Cross, which is obviously, for those of you who might not know, is our equivalent to the Medal of Honor, you know, the highest award for bravery in action and all that kind of bollocks. He won the Victoria Cross for action in Tunisia. But anyway, enough of that. Rebellion has actually started. So throughout the colonies, the rebels have begun to seize settlements and organise armed groups. We did not foresee this development. Fuck me, who's running this fucking show? And it is now likely that we will need to conduct full-scale military operations. It appears we must deploy additional army and naval forces to quell this uprising. You don't bloody say. Right, so what have we lost? There's been an uprising at Fort St. Carlos. However, it's a Spanish uprising, I believe. That always seems to happen for me. So, yeah. So I'm going to have this little thing here on. I don't know how well you can see this little mini-map here, but some of the settlements on it are like flashing blue. They're the ones that are close to falling. The faster they flash, the more chances there are of them falling. Right, we have a battle. Concord and Lexington. And I will fight the battle, because you guys want to see a battle, of course. And you want to see how I fight, I guess. So let's get stuck in and knock some rebels on the head. Now, I've fought this battle from both sides in this game. I've done it as the rebels and as the British. I don't actually know the full history of it. I believe the British were coming to confiscate weapons caches or something, and rebel groups were like coming in from the countryside from all fucking directions. It's my understanding of how it went down, and I believe the British were repulsed. I'm pretty certain, in fact, that the British were repulsed, but this is a alternate history we're doing here, so don't expect the British to be repulsed too easily. Right, let's get on with it. So, you're advancing to confront the rebels near Concord. Our vanguard takes position, and soon the rest of our troops will follow. Will arrive. Okay, now, learn to read, you dickhead. The enemy has stashed weapons and ammunition in these fortified farms. More rebels are on the way to take part in the battle. We expect no less than crushing the enemy and recovering the magazine. Fucking watch how quickly I'll do this. Right, so we've got, at the moment, we've got General Smith here. And we've got 3 regiments of foot. Or sorry, no, we've got 2 regiments of foot here. Two companies from one company from another. And we've also got a light company as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my light troops come over here. And basically the way I'm going to go about doing this, I'm going to try and just overwhelm individual enemy companies. Just overwhelm them with firepower, basically. Rather than have a line spread out, engage them all at once, I'm going to try and take them on piecemeal, if you like. So yeah, let's just get them in position quickly because it's boring waiting. So as you can see, I've got all 3 of these companies engaging this one light militia company here. They're like skirmishers or whatever, taking up position in the trees. Alright, they're on the run already. Oh, thank you very much, Dylan, for the information. Oh, okay. So the British were repulsed, or rather couldn't get in, if you will. And as they pulled back, that's when more and more rebels were like, "We've got them on the run, boys. Fucking have them." And yeah, saw them off basically. I've got a flask of tea next to me, a pint of tea in a flask. It's lovely. Nothing like fighting a battle with a good cup of tea next to you. So I'm just being wary here of this company here getting flanked, receiving flanking fire from these dudes. But what I am going to do is, while they're all engaged here, I'm going to have this company move up closer. Whenever you're ready. There we go. Get them in a nice close range volley. Oh, they're already on the run anyway. Now, here's where one of the game's weird bugs or whatever comes in. It says here, more rebels are marching in. But it's not more rebels marching in. It's more British troops are marching in. Including cavalry. So that's a bit of a... yeah. Now, these cavalry are going to come in very, very handy. The dragoons. Because... these light troops are a pain in the arse. They come around behind you and they do what light troops are prone to do. Basically, they fuck you up. Right, so let's have them move up. We've got a supply wagon here as well to resupply the troops. Got some artillery, 3-pounders. Okay, let's start pushing into this little farmhouse area here. And have them light troops run up to the hill here. There's a bit of a ridge here. Now, I suspect that these maps are relatively accurate to what things might have looked like back in the day. I suspect they are. I hope they are. I mean, it'd be really cool if they are. As you can see, we're making quite good progress here now at this little outpost position for the enemy. Now I'm looking over here because I also know that rebel forces will start coming this way as well. Right, let's move up the timer a bit. Oh, we are winning at the farm. I'm bloody happy to hear it. And now the Americans have received reinforcements. Just got to keep the pressure on. Let these three companies rest a bit because they've been in it since the beginning. And they're probably knackered already. Oh, hello. And this is why my cavalry will come in handy to have a go at these light troops, these light formations that like to shoot and then run. They're not very good against cavalry though. Which obviously goes without saying, light troops are not good against cavalry. Right, where are we at? You sneaky bastard. See, I knew they'd do it. Some light skirmishers trying to sneak around behind my position. Right, I can actually combine these companies to make them into larger formations if I wanted. It does come in quite handy when they've been depleted a little bit. You don't have to, even then, but I sometimes like to, especially if I'm going to launch a big assault. I'll have them combine into a lot. Look, so now 221 men all combined together from two companies. Very handy for, like, you know, charging in, which I'm not going to do yet because that would be very premature. Oh shit. More guys coming up behind me. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, getting... I mean, obviously British cavalry has always been known for being, well, a bunch of fucking lunatics, to put it politely. Not very professional, I believe. I don't know how they were in the American Revolution, but yeah, I know obviously in the Napoleonic Wars they were renowned for being nuts, like charging off and not coming back, and that sort of thing. Okay. I'm just kind of holding this line here at the moment, simply because I'm kind of like preparing for the next phase of the battle, if you will. I have got a timer, however. I've got to do all this before the timer expires. Let's get my my artillery into position as well. These guys are going to get hammered because they're a little bit out of limb here. They're not. No, not really. I mean, there are similarities, of course. The whole weapon range, similar ways of moving your troops around. But this feels more fluid. I mean, I can like click on a unit and I can like just drag an arrow from it, and I can like do stuff like this and make them run around and that kind of thing. So in regards to its similarities with Napoleon Total War, yeah, I guess there are some. Say similar era, sorry, but not quite the same as Napoleon Total War. No. Yeah, as I suspected, they would have probably been a bunch of silly cunts. I think it's something about the frame of mind of the cavalryman. Obviously, again, look, more rebels are coming. No, that's more British are coming. Yeah, what was I going to say? I think in regards to why British cavalry tend to be poor discipline and that kind of thing, I suspect it may have had something to do with that they were like, well, normally richer. More, I wouldn't say like the upper class of society, but they were normally a step above like the bog standard infantrymen, especially the officers amongst them. So they were, a lot of them were like snotty freaking rich kids and that kind of thing. I mean, that's how I felt in my time in the services, seeing today's cavalry in London. They all look like snotty fucking. I mean, they aren't. They're as common as muck, most of them. But the way they look at you, and I guess it's just inter-service rivalry, really. Anyway, the battle. So I'm bringing in these chaps here. I'm going to have one of these companies deploy up here because, as you can see, my left flank is a little bit out in the air at the moment. I'm going to have the other two forming right here. Yeah, I mean, even for when the heavy cavalry arrived for Wellington in Spain, they arrived and they spent, I think it was like 2 weeks or something, just getting the horses fit from the trip. It was only like a week trip by sea. The horses don't do very well on the old sailing boats, sailing ships and all that kind of thing. So yeah, had to get them fit and ready and all that kind of stuff for their job, basically. Right, I think I'm ready now to start making moves. Just waiting for these last infantry companies to get into place, and these guns here as well. Let's have them come right over on the right flank, the guns. And I'm going to have some dragoons up on the left flank. And I'm going to start pressurising this area here now. Because as you see, I've already caused some of the enemy to withdraw from their positions here. So I'm going to have Smith on the left, and I'm going to have Percy on the right. Obviously, they give buffs and things within this big circle here. And now it's saying reinforcement is here, but it's not for me, it's for the enemy. Obviously, the British campaign is still relatively new. There's still a few kinks to work out, or iron out, or whatever. Including some of the prompts and stuff. But yeah, what was I saying earlier? If you did like Napoleon Total War and them sort of games, you probably would like this. Right, we're on the move now. We're on the move. Let's start pressuring. If I remember rightly, some rather large groups of enemy forces does start to come, like some big detachments. Oh, they're on my right flank over here. Look, they're sneaky bastards. Look at them. That's why I've got these guys here. Yeah, you go, look, 250, so they've got some quite big groups, big formations of troops coming in. Won't save them. Although some of my companies here have had quite a few losses, to be fair. They've not got away scot-free. Yeah, like for moving your forces around. For example, like I said earlier, I could just click on this cavalry regiment and just drag an arrow and have them go where I want them to go. Or like for these guys, I, select them and then just draw a line, and they will go where I want them to go on that line there. Whereas Total War can be a little bit. Oh, Total War's fine, moving forces and stuff, but I find this quite a bit more smoother than Total War, with moving your forces around and commanding battles and things. Just waiting for an opportunity here for my cavalry to charge. As soon as I see one of these start to waver a bit, the cavalry's going in. My light troops here are running out of ammo. Let's have them come back here to reload. Right, let's start pressing now on the left flank. Ammo is running a bit low for those troops. Friendly fire. This is where my cavalry comes in very handy. Just got to be careful not to shoot my own blokes, that's all. Right, now's your chance, cavalry. Get in there. So they're wavering, or rather they're routing. They will reform and come back. And now my cavalry's smashed right into them as they run. And it's the perfect time for cavalry to do its thing, as obviously most of you guys watching this would already know that, because you're all into history of this kind, I guess. So, yeah. So bear in mind, this was a company of 250. A few moments ago, and now a combination of musket volleys, a couple of cannon shots, and now a cavalry charge has kind of reduced it a bit. Oh, hello. That's not good. My artillery appears to be marching after someone. And as you can see, my cavalry here didn't lose a single man in that charge. They had 109 when they started the charge, and they've still got 109 left now. Oh, my artillery is about to rout. I don't know why they moved up to here. I must have done that myself without realising. Oh, and they're routing as well, so let's have them charge. So the battle is effectively over now. As you can see. It does make you, obviously, if you don't know the history of the actual royal battle, which I know a little tiny bit. I know obviously what Dylan said earlier and all that kind of thing. But yeah, if you don't know the battle and how it acted out, watching this you probably think, how the fuck did the British lose? But this is a game, obviously. just quickly looking something up whilst I'm waiting for the battle to end, basically. So bear with me a moment. Do apologise. Oh, hello. That's what you don't want to see. Your men getting flanked like that. Yeah, some of the enemy surrendered here. Fortunately, this battle, it doesn't have any real effect on my forces on the strategic map, the main world map. So if I lose a whole regiment, for example, it doesn't actually matter. As far as I'm aware anyway, I don't think any of these regiments are on the world map. I don't blame them, Dylan, if I'm honest. I've never been charged by cavalry, of course, but I've been very close to the lifeguards, the blues and royals, and all that kind of thing in London when they've trotted past, and all the jangling, all the armour, and the horses capering about and throwing their heads up and down. It is intimidating. It really is. Even when you're marking, street lining, and all that kind of stuff, you do feel inclined to very, very tentatively point your bayonets slightly in their direction just to stop them coming close to you. Oh, so that's why this is a very doable battle for the British then, is because they've added the cavalry, and that is normally my key component for winning. So, yeah. Right, this battle is pretty much over now, so... I have been part of an exercise where the cavalry lads in London were armed with what do you call them? Basically sticks with foam on, and we had to try and break through their cordon to get to the carriage, which is acting as the royal carriage. We're basically going to be rioters, whatever, trying to get at the Queen at the time, of course. Right, the battle's over, and that was scary. That was quite scary. Just doing that, because obviously they want their horses still even then, and they try and bite you and all sorts. And we had to wear protective jackets and things with big collars and shit, and it was horrible. Didn't like it. Alexander, I've studied what's it called? Gaugamela? Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, I've studied one or two of his battles, but not really to any real degree. Right, losses, as you can see, it's quite devastating for the rebels here. Out of a deployed force of 3,322, they've lost 2,531 men. I've lost 389 of the 1,400 deployed. No, sorry, that's infantry. And I've lost 107 of my 204 cavalrymen, which is quite bad, to be fair. But overall, yeah, a very one-sided battle, which is probably what you would expect if the British had such a force as what I just had there against a bunch of local militias. So anyway, what I've just basically done there by winning that battle is I've given myself a big reputation boost on reputation points. So hopefully the British government will start to do things more for me, because they know I'm in favour, if you like. So yeah, I've got plus 10 reputation points, which I can spend in here, really. Port enhancements. I now have a new Secret Service department as well, so let's assign someone to that and have him start improving reporting. And I'm also going to increase my militia unit, because even if I had the weapons, at the moment I can only recruit 5 militia regiments. Now, when I've researched that, I'll be able to get more. Right, St. Augustine. As you can see down here, the Spanish rebels have taken over Augustine. St. Augustine, I should say. That was bound to happen. Right, new fleet has arrived from Britain. These are some of my reinforcements. These are the chaps I'm going to have come to... Oh shit, I forgot I had these dudes here. Yes. I'm going to have these battalions deploy in Virginia. Right, so I'm going to have... How's my... Oh, these places aren't too bad for... Philly is going to rebel. Reading. I'm going to try and keep Reading because Reading produces horses. And I'm going to start sending horses home so I can increase my cavalry, my chance for recruiting cavalry, basically. So I'm going to do that. General Smith can go to Reading as well. I would have probably stayed loyal, but I obviously disbanded the units I had there because I didn't see the need of keeping them there. So they may have stayed loyal in the end, but maybe not. I don't know. New Bern, 88. So yeah, the capital of North Carolina is still happy enough. Let's have them build a church there to try and keep them happy. Right, so I'm looking at this mini-map here and I'm looking at all the troublesome spots. You can see that the blue, that's where rebels are at work. So up here, I'm going to have a bit of a problem up here by the looks of it. All of these are on the very verge of rebelling. I cannot get a regiment here. What do you call it? Militia regiment to form. Fort Pownall is going to be a little bit cut off, basically. Can I put a regiment in here? Do I have the weapons? I might have the weapons. Let's just throw in a militia regiment here. I thought I did that already. I must not have done it. Yeah, I think one of the only other things about this game, when you get a massive loyalty drop across all the colonies, it does include the Canadian colonies in the game as well. Like here, look, Rupert's Land, which is quite far into Canada. It's with France. Okay, that makes sense then. I guess in a way. Yeah. How's it going, Ayla? You okay? Right. Onwards and upwards. Let's keep the clock ticking. Salem is definitely going to rebel. Oh, it literally rebelled as I said it. Charmless fucking nerks. Right, okay. HMS Hermione and HMS Frigate. Yes, please. Okay. So a small group of rebels have rebelled here and taken the town. I'm going to march from Boston. I'm only going to take a single battalion with me. Oh, you know what? Cancel last. We have a situation. Rebel army has actually appeared here at Leicester. As you can see, there's quite a number of them. 3,000, 2,500, 2,000. So they do outnumber me concentrated. I don't actually have the muskets for this, but I'm going to have them start preparing anyway, because they will build up as weapons become available. At the moment, I'm going to have to do a bit of Soviet style with these dudes. One guy can carry the ammunition while the other guy carries a musket or something. But straight off the bat here, I'm gonna march out. How's Middlesbrough? It's 99%. Okay, cool. So I don't need to garrison that place, really. I'm gonna have these. Now here's an interesting thing about this game. The forces with my general here, I can give them orders, like real-time orders, basically. The forces that aren't in range of my general, like these guys here, these guys actually are within range, but like these ones here that are in the dark area, I can give them an order, but then I might not see them. So if I was to have this battalion here, Parsons battalion, to march to Hertford, in fact, look, I'll show you. I can click for them to go, they'll march up into the dark area, and then I won't see them, and then they will appear here, and they will report that they've arrived there. I don't want them to go there, I want them to actually join up with this force I'm gathering here. So there's a reporting mechanic in this game. When you send troops off without a general, you have to wait for reports to come. You know, it could be several in-game days. Right, so Lexington battle accounts. The rebels issued a statement to all the colonies trying to place the blame for the first shot at Lexington on us. We will circulate our own version in a similar fashion. How much should we allocate for this project? So I can give £2,500 for propaganda, or my saver on the rebel next is best investment. Okay, what does that give? Harrisburg. Oh, it gives me less loyalty. Okay, I'll have to spend that money. I'd rather spend 2,500 than lose more loyalty, which is going to happen anyway. Right, so I've got a task here to recapture Leicester, which I'm actually going to do now, and it will be not too difficult. Oh, I've lost Philadelphia. That is not great, but it is what it is. I'm not that bothered. I'm having them garrison Reading there. So I'm going to lose a lot of towns, a lot of very important towns as well. You know what, I should probably keep one battalion in Boston because it really is not a happy place at the moment. I'm not their biggest fan. Oh wait, they're not my biggest fan. Yes, that's what I meant to say. So Parsons, you can garrison Boston. I'm going to attack Leicester with this force of 2,000 men here. And Leicester is being garrisoned by 3 militia battalions or regiments or whatever. So it should be a whitewash, really. It should really, I outnumber them and I'm using professional soldiers. It should be a piece of piss, to put it bluntly. I'm also going to build another regiment in Britain because I'm going to need them. Some artillery and some grenadiers, and I'm also going to try and build another cavalry regiment as well, but I don't know if I have the horses. I'll soon find out because it'll tell me. I don't have the horses. Fuck, I've got no horses. What the fuck? Okay, I can start building it up at least. Where's all my horses at? Horses are a resource apparently, and I have 50 in storage. I probably want to keep them in the colonies because I might need them in the colonies. What I can do is buy some straight off the market, like so. They cost an arm and a leg, but horses are expensive. And now let's see if I can reinforce this cavalry. I can, but I don't have the weapons now. Fuck me. Okay, whatever. I'll let them gradually build up. One more infantry regiment there, because I've got the Brown Bess muskets for them. Just not the short Brown Besses for the cavalry. The carbine Brown Bess. Right. Splendid. Okay. Oh, there is actually a battle happening already, as you can see here. I've missed it. Fuck. That's annoying. Yeah, the battle will happen on its own without you commanding it. I actually wanted to fight this, but as you can already see, some of the enemy have already started running away because I've let the AI battle take place, basically. So I'm going to dive into this and finish off whatever's left of the enemy. So every now and then on the world map, you'll hear musket volleys going on, and it's worth paying attention to because that means there's a battle going on. You can't always see the battle though. Sometimes it's in, because like I said, some areas of the map you can't. You can see it, but you can't see what's in the area of the map, in the field that is, unless you have a general there. Right. So this is obviously what the map looks like. You've got the 3 enemy forces here, quite well spread out. They are about to get absolutely freaking slaughtered though, to be honest with you. And there are bits on the map that you're supposed to try and capture. I don't think it's going to be that important for this battle though, especially seeing as half the enemy army is already running away. Right, anyway, enough rabbiting, let's get on with it. So I'm going to combine those two, so I'm going to have three columns. Each one with its own artillery. And each one represents a single battalion, so, or regiment or whatever. Right. Let's have at them. So as you can see, some of my men are already tired because obviously the battle's been waging already. Like my artillery, as you can see, it says exhausted. This means that they're going to shoot a bit slower. The morale will be a little bit lower because they've already been fighting this whole time before I took over personal command or whatever. Just get the timer going. There are more enemies out there somewhere. Oh, here they are, on the right flank here. Cheeky bastards. And I believe there's some on the left as well. Yeah, here they come. These ones have not been engaged, that's why they're all 150 strong. They're all at full strength still. But as you can see, the enemy are already pretty much pulling back. They're already fucked. So it should be a quick and relatively easy fight. I'm yet to actually have a proper massive battle in this game yet, with the British at least. Anyway, I think I've had 1 or 2 with the American playing as the rebels, which is a slightly different campaign. Obviously, I've got the time accelerator on here to make the units move around a lot quicker. Oh, got some prisoners here. Yoink. There was no cavalry deployed with this force. I didn't have any cavalry there, unfortunately. I think my cavalry are in New York at the moment. They're 6-pounders. Yes. Right. They're all running away. They're all pulling back. So, very short, sharp battle. I had 69 men lost. The enemy had 378 out of an original force of 1,200. So they didn't really stand a chance, to be fair to them. It was a brave stand, bless their hearts. So now obviously, because they're routing, we can now capture some of their equipment and things, some of their supplies. One of my battalions has leveled up. Assault, I think. Let's have them. Oh, another one of my regiments has leveled up. Gibson. Right, so these chaps here will retreat and they'll probably go to, I'm going to say Salem. I'm guessing that's how that town's pronounced. They would normally go to where there's like a, some of them might, these guys here may reform and then go capture an unprotected town or fort or whatever, but normally they go to a nearby friendly held town or something. The Rebel Assembly of Connecticut initiated negotiations for a cessation of hostilities. However, the Massachusetts Committee of Safety opposed this approach. We hope this strategy will buy us time until reinforcements arrive from the homeland. So, loyalty has been raised in Connecticut, but has fallen across the rest of the colonies by the looks of it. Now, I don't know, Dylan, you might be able to help us out. I don't know if this was a real event, if like the political leaders in Connecticut were more in favour of not having a war once it kicked off. But yeah, that's what's happening here basically. Alright, so because I've done a successful battle, which is one of my things to do, to start a battle, obviously the Lexington and Concord battle doesn't count because it's a battle that is going to happen either way. I've now achieved one of my little objectives here, so that's handy. Right, you guys can capture Leicester, you guys can capture the supplies here, and I want these guys to pursue after these chaps.
Push through.
Right, Hatfield is going to have a rebellion at some point, no doubts. Okay, we've not lost any ships yet, which is handy. I do need some more iron and wood, however. I can't really... There's not much to be bought on the market in regards to iron. I think it's been portrayed in what was that freaking series called? I can't remember what the series is called now, but you might know what I'm on about. The series about, you know, the revolution and all that kind of thing. And I believe in that when people were like, I've not seen it, but I'm sure I've seen a clip where someone suggests, you know, going for peace, like, and it's like, maybe we should, I don't know, you know, it's like, it's not universal that they're like, no, fuck them, we're at war now. There's a little bit of indecision there. It's funny because isn't New England, was that not a consistent thing for them as well? Like even in the War of 1812, of all the places in the United States, that was one of the areas where it was like not a huge amount of support for that conflict either. Not out of any loyalty, obviously, because you know it's long gone by then. But I think it was more for the whole business side of things. Right, this is a turn up for the books. 2,000 muskets have been turned in. This is good. This is going to help me equip my militia, my loyalist militia. Because as you can see, I'm starting to lose more and more towns and things now. I mean, this isn't a militia, but I'm going to arm these guys with some civilian muskets because, yeah. John Adams, that's the one. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, that is really quite surprising that they were even like umming and ahhing about going it alone, if you like. I wonder how well that would have gone down. Like a lead balloon, probably. What am I missing here? Not enough muskets. Ah, yeah, pricks. Civvy muskets. Right. Where are my militia battalions? Because ideally, they're the ones I want to be arming with. What the fuck? Huh. Didn't know I had this unit here. Disband them. Where did I create those other... Was the one in Charleston? No. Oh no, it wasn't Charleston, was it? It was in Fort Granby. Yeah. Let's give 2 of the companies here... Bollocks. Civilian muskets. And the other 2 can have brown besses. Right, as you can see, Maryland, Philadelphia, New Jersey, this whole area is probably going to get overrun. Well, maybe not all of it. I mean, parts of New Jersey are fairly happy still. I'm going to build stables here because they produce horses in Reading and also in Freehold as well. Because I need more horses to send back to Britain to create cavalry regiments. And also I'm going to build form I keep saying build, form a new militia regiment at Fort Clinton because they have iron there and I want iron and it's only got 52% loyalty. So and besides I need to have these militiamen. They've got to do the guarding, basically. I want my regulars available to go on the offensive as and when, and for the militiamen to do like the garrisoning and all that kind of shit. So I'll probably need to build some militia. I can't yet. I've got 5 out of 5 of my available militia regiments, so I'm gonna have to wait for that now. Right, so let's attack Salem. Retake that. Thing is, if I move troops around from the towns I've taken, I'll lose them again probably. So not always, but sometimes that is definitely going to be the case. So I need more printing press because that gives me more loyalty. The propaganda effort. Yeah, I'll start to build those in a minute. Oh, that's interesting to know. So New Jersey. I mean, what I've noticed about this game, each time I played it, I've started this campaign a couple of times, and each time I played it, different regions of the country seem to be loyalist and rebel. Sometimes, like I played the other day, in fact, Dylan, and all of North Carolina was so hostile to me. They were like full blown, off their face rebels. Like the whole colony was just fucking going nuts. This time around, again, if I unpause this, it seems to be this area up here. It says Massachusetts Bay. I don't know if that's what the state... That's not the state, is it? What is this? What is this part of the country called these days? So, I'm trying to get my bearings. New Hampshire. Yeah, so for me, obviously in this campaign, this area is where a large part of the rebel effort is going to be, I reckon. Right, so we have another battle here. Maine, yes, of course. Thank you, Ayla. Oh, I see, that's why it's called Massachusetts Bay. That makes sense. So yeah, where the enemy's forces deploy on this map, and where my forces deploy as well, is kind of in relation to where they were on the world map. That's why these units are up here and these ones are here. Because on the world map there were some that were coming in from the north, and some that were like directly in front of my own forces. I'm not sure why my general always ends up being miles away from the army though, but it's not that important. Not really. Not in these early battles anyway. When the rebels start to have more professional soldiers, then it will become, things will become a bit more tricky, obviously. Yeah, I'm surprised this game doesn't have like a proper historic setting, or maybe it does, I don't know. So it will be more in line with where the loyalists were, where the rebels were, and that kind of thing. Because like I've already explained, obviously it's a bit random as to where, like I said earlier as well, I had rebel forces have an uprising in Quebec the other day for me, which was very, very random. It was either that or the city was captured by a rebel battalion that had like marched there without me realising. But either way, it fell to the rebels, and it weren't French either. It was United States or patriots or whatever you want to call them. Right, let's see these chaps off. Oh, whoops. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, Quebec, even today, Quebec is like a thorn in Canada's side in a way. You know, it's like they're always very pain in the arsey, even to their fellow Canadians. So it wouldn't surprise me if any part of Canada was going to be more loyal, or more, sorry, not loyal, but more rebel-like. It would have been the Quebecois Canadians. It's, as you can see, like I've already said a few times, these very unfortunate loyalist forces really don't stand a chance this early on. But I have gotten to a point where so many towns were falling into rebel forces. They were falling far faster than I could hope to stop them. You know, like, and they're spread out all over the place, and it became a real pain in the ass. And obviously, each time a town becomes a rebel town, I lose my income from that town. So my expenditure was far outweighing my income. So I had no money to pay the troops. My own troops started to desert, and it starts to snowball and become a real issue quite easily. Obviously, I guess for the people in Quebec, they hadn't long been, part of British holdings. So it may have been their chance to be like, oh, hang on, it's all kicking off. This is our chance to have a go back, kind of thing. I know that's how I would be looking at it anyway. But if I'd been there, I suppose. Right. Anyway, let's get the time accelerator on. Get this battle finished. So obviously, as the enemy start to flee and rout, forces do become separated quite easily. It's quite easy to lose track of exactly what is going on. But now it's over anyway. So you can also fight it from this view as well, like a top-down view. Not a huge fan of it myself, if I'm honest. I prefer to get in like this. So yeah, once again, a very one-sided battle. Of course, I far outnumbered them anyway, and I had professional soldiers, so... Yes, and I agree. When the British campaign first came out a few weeks ago, before they put any patch on it, you had very little money anyway. It was really, really quite bad. You get 50,000 to start off with, and then it very quickly went, and you didn't get a lot of income. Now they've fixed it, so as you can see, I've got like 117,000, nearly 118,000 gold. I am expending more than I'm getting income at the moment, but that waxes and wanes normally. Yeah, so hopefully it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Let's build a printing press in Providence. Right, so we're retaking Salem here. Get these guys out of there. Right, they've surrendered. Nice, nice, like it. My general's running away because this retreating enemy force is basically retreating into him. Separate these two, have Cook chase them down. Van Laar can capture Salem. And I have the Patriots go back into Boston. See, this is where this does get a little bit annoying as well. These guys now... Who the fuck are you? Hang on. You cheeky little bastards. American privateers? I don't think so. Yeah, sorry. These guys now, because they've retreated, they've now reformed. They can march south now and capture Providence because it's undefended. It's realistic, I suppose, because that could be a thing. But it's also very annoying. it's a real pain in the arse. That's why I like to normally chase them down if I can to stop them from doing that. Let's go with that. I'm also going to recruit a new general. Let's go with this chap here. He looks angry. So he will deploy in Britain. Probably it's there now, I should think. Yes. So when these regiments are formed, I'll have him with these regiments set sail. He can take command of... maybe I'll have him take command of my forces in the New York area, but have most of his forces that are with him deploy in the Virginia area. Alright, we have a naval battle. Let's have a look. Okay, again, very one-sided battle here. One British light... It says corvette. We don't do corvettes in the Royal Navy. So one light frigate. I guess, yeah, exactly, Dylan. So it is very much like that. It is literally whack-a-mole. It's a proper pain in the arse. But I like it. It's fun at the same time. So right, we've got HMS Lizard, which is a Cerberus-class light frigate. And we also have a Diana-class fifth-rate frigate against a cutter and a sloop. So this is going to be a very unfortunate engagement for the Americans once again. But I have actually had a couple of very tough naval battles actually, where like a pair of Patriot sloops have fallen upon one of my frigates or something, and it's actually not been easy. It's been a bit of a bit of touch and go like. Right. So naval battles in this very similar to Total War, for anyone who doesn't know. Very similar, in fact. But you can also board. You can also have men come up in boats, which is quite cool. So you can actually have them do like landings on beaches and shit. Not necessarily in this game, but in other games from this same. I mean, you might be able to do it in this game. I don't know yet. But in like the other Ultimate Admiral, Ultimate General games, you could do like you could do like amphibious assaults and shit like that. However, I am going to play this battle with the time accelerator almost permanently on, purely because it does take time. I might have a bash at capturing the sloop. It is exactly the same as Age of Sail, yeah. The way the battles work, which is cool. You know, it's clever. It's nice. I like it. So yeah, I might try and capture Deef Castle. I'm gonna say, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Oh, it's not a sloop, it's a brig, in fact. But yeah, that'll be a handy addition to my forces. The cutter, I couldn't give a monkey's toss about. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change to chain shot to whack up their rigging. Don't really, because my ships here are so powerful, 1 or 2 broadsides and these 2 other American ships will be in a pretty bad way. So I don't really want to do that, because they might sink or blow up. The explosions are quite spectacular when it happens. So you can see them smashing their sails to pieces. It is simplified in a way. Pure naval, definitely. If this map had like an island on it with like coastal batteries and things like that, that's when it changes, because it could then become a naval and land battle. You can deploy parts of your crew in boats to go and assault land fortifications, and so yeah, you can have a mixture of land and sea battle, which is quite nice. But purely naval on its own, it is like a simplified like Empire Total War or Napoleon Total War type thing, really. But I like it still. It's cool. It's nice. Right, let's go for a boarding action here. So I've got to line up my ship like so, in the right place with our target here. Let's get the time accelerator back on. Using the wrong keys to try and turn the camera. Alright, switch to grape. Oh fuck. Okay, there goes their main mast just went by the board. They'll probably sink before I can board them now. Or maybe not, I don't know. They might even surrender actually. Which would be nice. Save me the trouble of boarding them, wouldn't it? Strike, you fools! Yep, they've struck. Lovely jubbly, okay. Lizard. I think you can take this prize. You did most of the fucking shooting on them. Right, so I'm going to go take possession of that ship now with this little crew here. Obviously, when you reduce your crew like so, it means your ship's efficiency is less. So it will take longer for the guns to reload, longer for the sails to set, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, is that so? I had no idea. That's really cool to know. Oh, that's nice. I bet he's fucking loving life now. Yeah, I'm definitely going to change the name, because it will still say USS as well when I go back to like the main map or whatever. In fact, I wonder if I can change the name now. No, I can't. This little cutter now is just getting absolutely mullered. He's trying to use the wind to his advantage, because obviously I've got the wind blowing from the north. Brave little thing. Obviously I've got the it's on maximum, what do you call it at the moment? Time acceleration. Right. Oh, they've surrendered as well. Okay. But they're definitely going to sink before I can get there. But yeah, yeah, easy win. Nice and easy. Happy days. Yeah, Games Labs. I mean, they made Naval Action. Obviously, the Ultimate General games, Ultimate Admiral games. I believe they. I know when they done Naval Action, they were based in Ukraine. They were a Ukrainian company. I don't know if they are still based there now. But that may also, if they are, that may also have something to do with their, delays and stuff, potentially. I don't know. Or, then again, this being a different branch of that company, it might not be based in Ukraine. I don't know. Same with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts as well. Same company, arguably. Right, loyalists from the countryside. Many loyalists who lived outside the city of Boston abandoned their homes and sought refuge within this city, within its borders. So -10 construction time, and alright, 10% recruits increase. That's nice. Right, so I'm going to rename that ship because I don't want it to be called USS Dife Castle. I don't like brigs very much, so I'm going to go with HMS Jersey. There we go. Jersey can be a brig. Charmless nerds. Right, okay. Alright, so there's going to be a lot of naval actions happening out here now, because quite a lot of my trade is going to come under attack from privateers and those sort of dudes. So I'm going to deploy the Navy now. I'm going to have my Royal Navy ships actually take up station out at sea. Right. Splendid. Any more ships up here? I may have to actually reinforce this area with some of my troops from Britain. I may have to have this chap, General Green, with his men, come here, because this is going to be where a lot of the heavy fighting will happen, I imagine. Oh, you know how it is, guys. You know how it is. What the fuck? Yeah. Right. Happily, Middlesbrough is 100% loyal, and the reason why I'm surprised by that, I've never, in my 3 or 4 times of restarting this campaign, I've never seen Middlesbrough stay loyal. It's always been one of the fucking pain in the ass places for me. Timothy Ruggles. Now, I don't know if this is a real person. Dylan, you may be able to help us out, I don't know. Established a loyalist military unit known as Loyal American Association and aligned himself with our forces. So we've just had a new battalion instantly raised for us, made of loyalist rebels in Boston there, which is lovely. You'll have to see it. That's worrying. That is actually quite worrying. Let's have the 75th Regimental Foot march there. So again, as I mentioned earlier, so you can't see them move. You just see that little timer going around, because they're outside of my general. So they will report. They will send a report, and when they send that report, they will update their position on the map. Right, we're getting more support from Parliament. That's nice. Also, he was a Quisling dude. That's cool. Good for him. William Howell. Right, that's nice. I've just got a whole bunch of, basically a brigade's worth of units raised in Britain, which I'm going to deploy straight away. And that's going to be my brigade that's going to take up station in the Carolinas, I think. So we've just lost Cambridge. And we've just lost Fort George. So all of these towns here will go. I'm going to lose them all. Which is a bit of a unfortunate turn of events, but it is what it is. Yeah, look, they've sent a report now. As you can see, their position's been updated, which is, I like it. I like that system. That's kind of cool. Oh, Baltimore's been lost as well. Would you miss it? Oh shit. Now this area here, Dylan, you can answer this for me. Am I right in saying that the tip of this peninsula here is part of Virginia, whilst the rest is it Delaware? Yes, Delaware. I seem to recall seeing a map. Maybe it might have been on Grand Taxation. Like the tip of this peninsula was listed as Virginia. I don't know if it was or is or ever has been, but it just seems random. You know, it's like why just the tip? Why not make it into Delaware or whatever? Ooh, a trade offer from the natives. Miami's are offering 9 iron for 115 civilian muskets. Yes, because I'm only taking them up on that because it helps with our relationship with them. Oh, hello. The North Carolinians are at it again, probably. And I've lost York. Never mind. Yeah, as you can see, towns are starting to fall thick and fast now. I just smacked my microphone. Lovely, good. Yeah. I guess the locals there must be happy being in Virginia. So right, so rebel privateers have begun. This is an event that you can't not have happen. We've lost 2 merchant ships. 9 enemy ships have sailed. So there are 9 ships out there somewhere now. I'm going to try and find them all because I have a good navy. Yes, I do. Right, get rid of that shit. Oh, bollocks, what now? Oh, we have a battle already. Naval battle. Oh, it's a cutter versus a cutter. I'm going to let the AI take this one. Let them fight it out. They will literally just fight the battle, and it will just... one side will either run away or get captured. Yeah, Jorvik was the Norse name, I believe, because they couldn't pronounce what we called it, or what the Saxons called it, I should say. Oh no, I'm not allowed to say Saxons anymore, am I? That's like illegal in England now. Fuck me. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Right, I need to equip a ship. A new ship. So let's get another Cerberus class light frigate. This chap will do. Do I have the guns? I do have the guns. Right, lovely. That's a new ship created for the Royal Navy. And I've got General Howe's men here. I'm going to have them make the crossing. And have them land in Charleston, I think. Have them escorted as well because it's always sensible. There we are. Right, so there'll be 31 days. A group of skilled and daring captains, each with extensive maritime experience, emerges as privateers, operating independently or backed by local communities. They acquire swift and well-armed vessels to engage in privateering against the merchant ships of the rebels. So these are loyal privateers. That's nice. Right, yeah, I see what you're saying, Ayla, yeah. I think the reason why I said they couldn't pronounce it, I think it's because that's what someone says in one of the Last Kingdom novels. They say, oh, you can't even pronounce the name properly, that's why you called it Jorvik. You said, he's like taking a piss out the Vikings or whatever. Uprising in Bennington. And we have a naval battle here, and another naval battle down here. Both of which I expect to win because the Royal Navy never loses. What the fuck? Why out? No. Back into port, you lot. Supplies from Nova Scotia. A vessel arrived with supplies, provisions, and furs, which I can sell, which I probably will sell, because why the fuck wouldn't I? Right, let's have some more naval coverage up here. Fucking hell, lots of battles going on now. Those two cutters are still going at it. Yeah, I see what you're saying about the old English thing. Oh shit, yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't even know I had... Oh. Right. Oh, hello. Yeah, I don't need to get involved in that either. One sloop, or brig even, two cutters against a brig and a light frigate. I do like to fight the naval battles sometimes, but they do drag on a bit. The land battles are far quicker, probably more entertaining. Right, anyway, what am I got to do next? Create a regiment in the colony. Pretty sure I've done that already. Yeah, another town has fallen. Lots of towns falling. And a new battle has kicked off here. Ah, now this one is worth doing. 2 brigs versus 2 brigs. I'm going to do this battle because I'd rather not lose 2 brigs. Potentially. So this could... I don't claim to be some expert naval tactician, of course. I do have the weather gauge, however. But this could prove to be a very potentially tricky battle. There's no guarantee that it will be a victory. Right, they're all up in caught in stays there. In fact, USS Anzio, which is a rather interesting name, made sternway for a moment, which is quite funny. So I'm going to have both these ships concentrate on Anzio. Can't, that's annoying. Right, you know what? Never mind this line battle bollocks. Let's just go for it. Lost 2 guns already. Right, let's try and wreck their stern. It's always a good way forwards. Normally causes a big morale shock or something. Shit. Didn't do it in time. Alright, have him now just kind of sit there in between the 2 of them, engaging both batteries. preferably Anzio, because he can hit them in the stern still. Right. Oh, they've lost their foremast. That's a shame. Let that be a lesson to you. Come on, strike. I'd love it if they struck now, that'd be great. They're not going to strike, though, are they? Never in life. Oh shit. I turned the ship just as the guns were about to fire. It made them all miss their target. How annoying would that be for a gunner? Just about to open fire, just about to shoot your gun, and the twat at the wheel goes hard to starboard or something. Oh no, HMS Huntley's wavering a bit. How dare you? Cowardly Nurks. Oh, it's caught in stays as well. Fuck. They're running the risk of getting. Oh, there we go. Good. So they're running the risk of getting stern rates then, which would never do. Have them swap over now. Get Hampton to engage Arawa, and Huntley to engage Anzio. Oh, wind's changed direction suddenly. That's typical. Just my luck. Just about to rake Anzio with my somewhat slightly damaged ship here, and the wind changed to be unfavourable for me. Oh, knocked their rudder out. That's always nice. Come on now. Give up, you know you want to. Yeah, I got a feeling it's an auto-generated name. It wouldn't even surprise me if they use something similar to what they used to name ships in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Obviously Anzio being a city, but also a battle that American forces have fought in. I don't know. I might be talking complete bollocks, to be honest with you. Oh fuck! The tables are turned. It could be that could be a clinch of that, you know. That could actually. Two equal forces here, just literally blazing away at each other. Huntley's lost its foremast, which is a real dog. Yeah, that would be cool to have the state flags and things. Oh, for fuck's sake. That's not good. Hampton is going to get absolutely knackered now, probably. I've got two. This is why I don't like Briggs. I'm on the verge of losing 2 here. I need to have the larboard side facing the enemy for Hampton now, because its starboard side is fucked. It's going to start taking on water soon if I'm not careful. Wavering again. The thing is, it's a 3-star ship as well. The crew's 3 stars. So ideally, it should be well on point. They should be fucking them up. And the other one's a 2-star ship. These are both 1 star. So it should have given me an advantage with the crews. But unfortunately, oh, hang on. Was it my larboard side that was fucked? Not, oh, bollocks. That's not good. Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. Ah, it's taken on water. Right, Anzio's also taken on water. This is going to be a very, very close run thing. Arawa is also now taken on water. I think it's going to be a case of who sinks first is going to, or who doesn't sink first is going to win. Ah, they've lost their main mast. Antio sunk. Hampton's lost his fucking main mast. Oh shit. Oh. Bugger. Yes, yes. Alright, we win. Just. Let's get out of here before they sink. Bloody hell. Yeah, if I'd left it another 20 seconds, both of my ships would have sunk, definitely. In reality, they would have almost certainly have sunk in that condition. Have them go refit in Portsmouth. That's Portsmouth in fucking New Hampshire, not in England, obviously. And they will have HMS Laurel take post where they were. Right. Harrisburg has fallen. Massive launch drop almost all over the colonies. The rebels are exploiting the night wind to send handbills into our troops, encouraging desertion. Fucking cheeky bastards. And look, here is a rebel ship engaging one of my merchants right here. And here is another one. I can't do anything about this. I can't like control the action there. It's all automated. Oh, I'm right by the coast here and all. Fort Rice and Winchester have fallen. I've got a feeling the Royal Navy is going to win that one. Potentially. Thompson's War. Our sloop, HMS something, had to threaten to shell Falmouth in Massachusetts Bay to secure the release of its captain, who had been captured by local militiamen. Disappointed by the outcome, these militiamen expressed their frustration by looting the homes of loyalists. Oh, classic. Ultimately, the assembled militia forced HMS, whatever it is, to leave the port. So, Castine region's loyalty is dropped. Castine region has actually fallen, so I'm not that bothered. However, losing 300 brown bess is not good. So that's up here. So waiting on... There are not enough... Oh, bollocks. Alright, that's cool. I'm getting free resources from the loyalists. This little symbol here means I'll read it out here. There are not enough European recruits in the colonies. The unit's replenishment will be halted until more recruits are sent from Britain. It's something to do with this. I don't know how it works yet. You've got 0 out of a number. I've got a feeling it should be the other way around. There should be a number of troops available here, and I put in the number here how many to send, but for some reason it's not that way around. I don't know how it works, so I'm just going to increase it to 100, and hopefully that means I'm going to send 100 more recruits across to the colonies. Problem is, the available recruits is here in the bottom left of the screen, and it's 0 in Bristol and 67 in Plymouth. So, you know, there will be some trickling in over time. So I don't have 100 to send, which is unfortunate. Fort Frank has also fallen. I'm definitely going to need to have some troops land here, I think. This guy. I don't want to send him, though, with only one fully formed regiment. Because it takes so long for them to come, I'd rather send them all together. You know what? Actually, no, I will send them. Because I've already got a regiment there, so you can have that as an escort. So, angry looking general can go with one regiment, and I will have him land up here, join up with the troops in Fort Pownall, and begin counter-attacking down the coast here towards Boston. Right. Oh, yes. They were meant to be taking post there, weren't they? Right, cool. Now the game is paused. It's paused right at the moment where it shows on the map here all the rebel-held towns and those that are about to rebel. And as you can see, it's almost 50-50 by now, I think. All of these ones here in... Where is this? Georgia are on the very verge of... Georgia and South Carolina on the very verge of... going crazy, basically. So yes, it's all going on. So Howe's troops, when they arrive in South Carolina, are going to have their work cut out for them. This is another odd one, but they need to sort out. We have received an alliance proposal from Spain. What do you think we should do? It's not we, it's the Americans. USA and Spain are now allies. Obviously, I don't think they originally planned for I might be talking bollocks, but a British campaign. They've obviously copy and pasted a lot of the stuff for the Patriot campaign onto the British campaign, probably as a placeholder or something, I hope. Hopefully it gets fixed because, well, obviously, why wouldn't you want it to be fixed? We had long discussion and made again, the writing here is not great. We had long discussion and made decision to offer 91 civilian musket to Miami's. It must improve our relation. Yeah, I'm not taking the piss. It's obviously I'm just reading it out as it is. Just a few little writing. Mostly that's the main problems I've found with this game so far, especially on the British campaign. A lot of this writing stuff needs a little bit of tweaking, but other than that, it's cool. The rebels captured a substantial British military vessel on Lake Champlain, New York. During a raid on Fort St. John, they seized more than 180 cannons. Fuck me, I didn't know I had that many cannons, along with additional weaponry and supplies. So Fort St. John's has been damaged. That is up here somewhere, I believe. There it is. So it's repairing. Here you go, look. 33rd foot. I'll be getting that soon. Yeah, I bet you are, Ayla. Alliance is seeking dependable couriers who successfully navigate Patriot patrols. These couriers play a crucial role in facilitating communication and transporting essential resources, ensuring that supplies reach the British Army and Loyalist camps. How bloody nice of them. Ooh. Right. I need to start counter-attacking and things. New York is tricky because we received a message from Spain. Spain and Cherokee are now at war. Okay, that's not important. Hopefully the Cherokee will fuck them up. Yes, so New York is far from secure. As you can see, it's only 36% loyal. And that goes for all of these settlements here. So I don't really want to leave any of these unmanned. However, I do have a spare battalion in New York, a reserve battalion. I only really need to keep one garrisoning the city there. Hempstead is still quite a nice place to be. 80% in favour of remaining loyal. So I'm going to send the 21st Regiment of Foot to Morristown. I won't be able to control the battle because I don't have a general there. I could send Smith over, but I'm going to have Smith do something else. Smith with one battalion. It's going to go for Philadelphia. Actually, you know what? You can take the cavalry review and all. Join army. There we go. Right, so we've lost this whole blob here. A large area of the map here has fallen to the rebels. They're starting to get right into Virginia. So I'm going to have these two. How are we looking here anyway? Right, yeah. Going to have these two battalions, which have landed in Norfolk, join into a brigade and start heading towards Fredericksburg to counter any threat coming into Virginia from the north. Eventually, they will be joined by a general when one becomes available, so I can actually do the battles there and stuff. So at the moment, I'm just building up my forces, biding my time a bit, getting ready to go crazy. Basically, I've got two new generals already at sea on their way over. So hopefully, when they arrive, I'll start to be able to get a proper wriggle on. Right, seeing as I've got a loyalist militia battalion there now, I can hear shooting. That means there's a battle going on somewhere. Oh. Interesting. So Philadelphia is about to be reinforced by these two battalions here. So I will have to do this battle myself because I will be outnumbered there. What was I doing? Right, so Parsons can come over to Hatfield. Right. Yes, let's do the battle here. Fortunately, we've got some cavalry, and as has already been pointed out, the militia don't do too well against cavalry. And I've got a whole cavalry regiment, which means 3 squadrons of cavalry. So, even though I'll be outnumbered, it shouldn't be too much of a drama. And I'll probably do this battle, touch up a few bits and pieces around the map, and then call it a night because time is pressing on. Yes. I'm ever so grateful for you guys hanging about though and watching and shit. It's been dead nice of you. Right, anyway. Right, so the cavalry is deployed behind. There they are. Have the guns in the middle. Right. So that's not my objective, ideally. But the enemy normally, unless it's a fort battle, they're defending a fort, they normally march towards me anyway, so I didn't worry about advancing too much. Normally they do. I have seen it once or twice when they've formed a line and hung about. You know, I could use the cavalry actually to scout ahead. Okay. Enemy skirmishers. Not going to mess around with these guys. Ooh. Come on. Oh dear. Alright, they've routed. Good. Let's get the cavalry out of there before they get blasted by these two companies that have appeared. Oh, I had a feeling there'd be some on the right. That's why I put these cavalry here. Some coming through the woods here as well. I'm still yet to see, in this campaign at least, the US regulars or patriot regulars or whatever you call them. Continental Army. That's the stuff, isn't it? Haven't seen any yet. At least I don't think I have. These guys aren't, are they? No. Because they'll only have 120 in their companies if they were. Oh, my skirmishers are standing their ground. That's not usual. Normally they back off. I'm sure there was more enemy forces than this. Yeah, I did actually know the little green, like, what do you call it, car air freshener symbol thing was New England specific. I can't remember where I learned it, but I did know that. I think I learned it actually in the Empire Total War Independence campaign, the USA campaign, and that. But yeah, they do seem to use it just as a generic rebel thing for in this game. Right, they're routing. Oh, hello. Cheeky buggers. Oh, they've all shattered at once. Oh wait, hang on, that's the same person. What the hell? Oh, never mind. It's another little weird thing. Alright. I don't know where all the enemy are. Ah. More skirmishers. Wonder if they're leading a battalion in. Just using my dragoons as scouts here to see if there's any more enemy forces coming in from this direction, because I'm pretty sure there was more than what I've seen, quite a bit more. In the meantime, I have these dragoons go for them. Because I thought the battle would be over by now, because everyone's run away. But there's obviously forces I haven't... Ah, there we go. I was going to say, there's obviously forces I haven't seen yet, who may have been quite far off on the strategic map, and that obviously gets simulated into the tactical map as well, which is... I quite like it. I think it's a cool feature. It's not, obviously, you know, original, but yeah, look, there's a whole regiment here. Obviously, I'm doing the battle with the time accelerator on, just to get everything done with. Alright, there it is. Someone didn't even get engaged. Right, quite heavy losses for the patriots there. 708 men out of their 1,100. So that's basically best part of 2 of their regiments knocked about quite fiercely there. Farmers support. Farmers and landowners loyal to Britain pledge a portion of their harvest to support the British Army. These agricultural contributions help provide food for the troops. So that's giving me more provisions, which my chaps need, or else they desert and stuff. So that's nice. Right, let's have the cavalry chase after them, chase them down. Monroe is loyal, which is nice. I'd like to keep it that way, so let's build a merchant stores and a press office there. And that's what I need to start doing now. I need to start building press offices and those sort of buildings in the places that are still loyal to me, to stop them, you know, switching sides or whatever. Oh, that's right. He was going to assault Morristown, wasn't he? Right, happy days. So I'm just going to tidy up a little bit, and then I'm probably going to knock it on the head. Printing press there. And I also want to build a printing press. Oh, I've still got buildings building there in Boston. Oh, hello. What's that? 105 soldiers rescued from Philadelphia prison. That's nice. I've never seen that before. We have been informed that our unit, militia regiment commanded by Asahel Calve, was found dead. What? Right, I've got a feeling that's actually the other side that I'm getting a notification for there, which does seem to happen. I would like to... no. Right, so that's that. Right, yes, I'm gonna call it a day there, guys. So once again, for you guys who've hung around all this time, thank you ever so much for watching. Dylan, thank you again for some of the historical insights as well. It comes in very handy. Just, you know, it is an interesting subject, I find, how it all happened and how, yeah. So I might do this again in a couple of days or something, or maybe I'll play something else. So yeah, thank you once again, and have a good night. Cheerio.